Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and let's talk about top 5 quality of life feature things I wish I knew earlier in Honkai Star Rail. Now the first one is very simple and it's going to be something that you guys, especially if you love auto battle, you're going to really like this one. Let me just showcase what it actually does. Okay, number 5, you see here this monster. I'm just going to auto attack it, and a lot of us have to manually start the auto attack. But as you can see here, as I started, it's immediately automatic. Like the moment you enter the battle, it's just straight away auto. You don't have to actually go in and manually click it. And this is quality of life feature number 1. How you actually activate this auto battle feature that you have, so you don't have to manually click it, is you go into settings here. This one over here with this like 3 pieces of paper stacked on top of each other, and what you want to do is actually, you see this one over here, whether to continue the use of auto battle, switch this from no, is no by default, and switch it to yes. So this will actually allow you to have auto battle turned on, and by default it's going to be no, and not many people actually realize about this as well. So I think it's pretty useful. And for those of you speedrunners who just wanted to do your dailies even faster, you can actually switch this cast ultimate during auto battle to manual, so that you don't get the animation and it actually will shorten your time. This is very useful, especially if you're playing with a team, for example like AoE characters, and maybe let's say I swap out S-Star here for Herta. So you're just mainly using their skill abilities to clear the squishy mobs, so you don't really care too much in terms of the ultimate ability. And tip number 2 really is also a time saving trick. It's not efficient because you do lose out a bit of resources, but you don't actually have to do your dailies in terms of the daily mission that you give. As you can see here, I actually managed to get the full 500 by skipping out this complete 1 daily mission. As you can see here, for example, if I go into my daily quest right here, it is still here. In terms of this item, and you do lose out some resource, you do lose out like 5,000 credits. But for any of you who are like, maybe you are urgently needing to be very busy that day and you are even contemplating not doing your dailies because you don't want to, you can not focus on this if it takes up too much time. You can just run the remainder, especially 5,000 credits is not really that much. It's probably like 2.5 worth of energy. It is still inefficiency, but I think that time that you save might make it worthwhile in the end as well. And of course, if you are a pay-to-play player and you don't mind spending a bit of resources, these credits can of course be very easily earned. If you, for example, go into this Ember exchange, you can just like swipe. That would be tip number 2. You don't have to actually do your daily commission. For those of you who come from Genshin Impact and are very used to clearing this on a daily basis, you don't have to do this daily mission to actually get the full value. You do lose out a little bit on the 5,000 credits, and but you can get it back quite often. And the next tip I have is, of course, going into your friend profile and setting your support character to be really strong. You want to give like the best support character you have. Ideally, try to make it a bit more unique compared to the other people on the list. Mine is a E6 Zealer, so I think a lot of people do use it on a daily. One thing to note, of course, this amount of friendship that you can get is up to 5 times a day, so you can get 10,000 credits a day from this additional feature. That's like 5 energy. So if you guys need a bit more credits, this is one way to get it as well. And try to like use your friends' supports. For example, maybe if you have some friends that are playing the game as well, tell them use my supports, I'll use yours as well, and we can all get more resources together as well. If you guys need more friends, don't feel free to leave in the comments below. And if you're playing in Asia, I'm happy to add. We also have a Discord where we actually share in terms of our friendship requests, so you guys can join our Discord. It's in the video description below, and let us know like what UID you're playing on, and we have all servers currently in our Discord already, so you can definitely find friends there too, and we can all share our support characters and get more resources together as well. A lot of you are, for example, wondering like, how do you actually see all the light cones in the game and compare across different ones? And how you do this is actually, you can actually click escape, go into your phone, go into the data bank here, and a lot of content creators use this because this is very nice for explanation as well. You have all the access to every single light cone in the game as of the current patch, and even those that you do not have, for example Jinyan's one, who is not released as of time of recording, you can also go in here and see exactly what it does at level 1 as well as max level. So if, for example, if you're thinking of a light cone that you want to get and you're not sure which one is better, you can just go in and just compare those that you do not have here. You don't have to be restricted to your inventory as well to make a decision, so you can like plan ahead. For example, if you want to know like what are all the 5-star options and stuff like that, you just need to know which one are limited and which one is not, and where to get most of them. Like for example, this one is a battle pass one, this one is gotten from the standard shop, you can exchange it for 600 premium glitter. This one is from the Herta shop, Simulated Universe, and this is of course a limited light cone. But stuff like that, other than that, it doesn't tell you like what exactly the typing is, whether it's limited or not limited. But other than that, you can really see a lot of details. And next up, tip number 4. I don't think this is like a super in terms of quality of life, but one important thing to note is what do I actually use on a daily basis in terms of my assignments. I think this is something that's not touched on quite a lot yet. I do like running, for example, the tree in terms of materials and credits. So you get this is basically the equivalent of getting more energy a day. So I think everyone should be running this tree. But one quality of life feature that can save you some time, especially if you don't have time to explore the open world, is to choose one of these items. And personally, I like going for this Destruction of the Destroyer. Generally, the map doesn't have too much of these mobs in terms of the Herta space station. These are relatively easy to find because Yubelebog has quite a lot of these monsters as well. So these three come in quite abundance. This one is a little bit more tricky. It takes more time to farm. So I do like putting this in terms of the options as well, in terms of getting this on a daily basis. And one thing that a lot of people might not know is you can actually go into the synthesis machine and you can actually go to this converter here, material exchange. And for example, as you can see, I have quite limited in terms of this, but I have quite a bit of the rest of them. So if you wanted to, for example, get more of this, you can actually, let's just select this, and you can just click here and you can select another piece. You need to trade a 2 for 1, but what this means is you can basically just like switch this over to this piece over here and it converts 2 into 1 that you are looking for. This is theoretically inefficient, but as you play the game longer and you get more of these resources, you actually realize this doesn't contribute to your energy. This is an unlimited resources, because as long as you have a bit of time, you just farm the map, you can get these resources. So if you're running out, just do this material exchange, you can get it back quite quickly. Mathematically inefficient, but if you think about time as a resource, you save a lot of time and it doesn't really do much detriment to your account because these are renewable resources that you can just farm very quickly as well. So that's why I like to put one of them on, just in case, for example, I need to use one of the dailies and shifting else to something else as well. So this is something like interesting to point out. Whereas these, on the other hand, are a bit more different. For example, if I needed a bit more ice shards, I needed 15 to make up 1. I could, for example, go in here and swap 2 for 1 to get it. But this is very inefficient because you actually sacrifice energy in terms of converting it over for convenience. This is definitely way more different compared to these other ones, because these don't cost energy at all. You just need time to go and farm the map. So that's the difference between the both of them. I recommend anything above these, like the farmable maps. These are not recommended unless really you need it very urgently. Otherwise, it's better to just sit on them as well. So that's tip number 4. Now let's go into the last tip, and I think it's something that's not really talked about in terms of the food section here. This is a quality of life feature, because anything quality of life means it saves you frustration or saves you time. And out of all of them, as you can see, the one that I really like is Trick Snack. I always farm this on a daily basis, or I try to get as much as I can on a daily basis, and I have always been using at least one of these on a daily basis. Unless you remember where exactly all the purple destructible objects are on the map, you will find yourself needing to use this quite often, and the reason why is because you will actually have daily missions here that require you to, okay, I don't have it today in terms of this list, but you will actually have quite often use maybe 2 techniques on the field and stuff like that, or use 1 consumable as well. And sometimes using 1 consumable and using a technique both come out on the same day, so you just use 1 food item to get 200 EXP. It saves so much time. I think it's super efficient as well. And for those of you who don't want to use the consumable and you just want to use techniques, you can find the 2 purple canisters very easily from here and here in terms of the map outlying snow plains. You teleport here and you can just see it right on the map. It's going to be right there, one of them, and another one the other side as well. So it's very easy to get technique points to just use, that you can just spam 2 of them and very quickly you'll be able to get that daily accomplishment as well. And if you found this video helpful, do give us a like and subscribe for more of such future content. Just a random video, but I think it's quite helpful. I tend to only put out videos that I think is useful and not just spam you with like unnecessary information as well. And thank you so much for watching. Do check out these 2 other videos we have on the channel as well. And see you in the next video.